Hey guys, XJ9's here, and today's gonna be a video about the upcoming changes in RuneScape this year with the 2024 roadmap. And just to give my thoughts about it, I'm gonna try to keep it quick, but I always say that it probably won't be. So, I mean, honestly, I kind of read all this and stuff and watched a bit of the stream, like probably 30 minutes of the stream. So let's start with in order. So we got the Bloom Burrow, we got this. Okay, so the next content that's gonna come out, I'm not sure when. I mean, next is going to be the new archaeology dig site, Namenheim. That's pretty exciting. I like Namenheim a lot. The other part about it that I like a lot is the fact that they're graphically updating Namenheim. I don't think they're going to update the floors, obviously, but the castle they will. It's kind of funny because I just looked. I was actually going around Namenheim after I made my dungeoneering video. I was like, this castle isn't that big, I don't think. And I was just like looking around, I'm like, Dragon Kid don't look like that anymore. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what they do with the graphical update if it includes like the outside area as well, which I assume it will because it would be like a whole dig site. So honestly, the fact that it comes with a graphical update makes me very excited for it. I also like mysteries, not because like ooh, who can solve it first, but because I like the lore with it. So I hope there's some interesting lore about the Dragonkin, like they said about the Dragonkin, but I don't know. Um, Damonheim was also about Zamrak originally, because 461 was supposed to have Zamrak originally. Like that was highly likely the original plan. So yeah. The beach is coming back. I'm not too excited about it. To be frank, I haven't really participated in the beach often. I mean, maybe I'll go there or something, but like they're doing some quality of life things. I haven't been there in 2 years, so I don't know really what to expect. I kind of wish we got the summer event, but I mean, we're getting the Rex Matriarchs instead, so that's fine. I will say, I actually apparently I don't know why they even put the Blooming Burrow here. So I skipped this. The new combat boss, Rex Matriarch, uh, Osios, or whatever his name is, right? And we're also getting a Relica graphical update. I thought this already happened. I guess it didn't happen. Sorry. So the new Rex Matriarch is just a mid-level combat boss, right? With you can use Necromancy, and I wonder if it will drop a new ring based off the news post. But I wonder if it's going to require anything. Like, is it just going to require four new, one of each ring? I don't know. I'm honestly assuming that it's either going to be an upgrade to the ring we got from Zorgoth's ring. Like, let's even look at this post fast. So Rex Matriarch, didn't they talk about it here? Yeah, it did. So you might even find a powerful necromancy combat ring in the process. So yeah, it's either gonna be an upgrade of the Zorgoth ring or a whole ring drop itself. Because again, the whole theme of necromancy ever since release has been a fresh slate. Like you don't have to go back and get some old gear to make new gear. The only instance this really has been the case is subjugation robes, but those are relatively easy to get. So yeah, it's probably just gonna be a whole item. So that's gonna be interesting. It's probably gonna tank in price a lot though because everyone's gonna do it and instead of having three bosses that drop three rings, it's gonna be one boss. So yeah, it's gonna take in price extremely fast. I remember when the original Rex Matrix came out and I got a drop, it did not sell for much. The thing that went up a lot were the original Dagnoth King rings, not even the Rex Matrix rings. So because of how easy the boss is, I wouldn't plan on making a whole lot of money from the boss. Like maybe you'll make like 60, maybe even 100 mil for the first day or two, but after that, it's gonna go way down. Um, Season Event Pride, I don't know what that is, so I'm not gonna talk about it. New boss dungeon is Sanctum of Rebirth. So some people are confused on what this dungeon is. Also the fact that there's a little Tuska creature on the little splash art here, or like the artwork of it. The vibe I get from this dungeon, and also being like green and like kind of like Gothic-y, is I'm assuming it's gonna be either our old enemies coming back or a shadow of themselves coming back. Like, is this like where I don't know, things that die go. Like we don't know. Again, there's a lot of unexplored gray area in RuneScape where like they can still make up shit, I guess, right? And like who knows who will verse, but it looks like we're gonna be versing a Tuska or something related to Tuska. So we'll see what that is. But it's gonna have the new Tier 95 one and book. Maybe it's gonna be a book. People want a book really badly. That's what I see a lot in the comments, and even my girlfriend says she wants a book, which is kind of funny. And the hard mode version is going to drop the an add-on to tier 95 weapons to make them higher. It's either gonna be tier 97 or tier 99. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be tier 99, honestly, just because it's a nice even number, as in it's the max. That's even in that way. I don't know. Yeah, how hard it's gonna be, I don't know. I hope it doesn't have enrage because then it'd be easier to find groups. I just want a nice solid hard boss like a harder boss like Solak or like Telos. Was Telos was an enrage, but I only went up to 1,000. Is what I mean is it would be nice to have a high level boss that doesn't have enrage because they haven't done that in a while. I think Vorkath has been an example of that. I really enjoy Vorkath, just no one really does it, and it gets kind of boring solo, and I don't like the whole Blood Reaver meta. So yeah, I will say I do hope they do some combat challenges before this gets released, like nerf Blood Reaver, nerf Hellhound a bit, Disruption Shield a bit broken. I hope they do some changes before this update, but if they don't, but I just really don't want to be that person who's just spamming Blood Reaver and or whatnot. So overall, I mean, is it exciting? I mean, we still don't have dual wield tier 95 range. I guess that's next year. I wonder what the set effect will be. Some people are worried about Praisal Wand and Core being like cheaper. I mean, it's already cheap, and I don't think there's anything bad about Magic being more accessible to lower level players. Like Seismic Wand and Core or Singularity being so much money, like it'll make the Singularity and Core go down lower, and it'll make the Wand be the Praisal Wand a bit more affordable as well. Just so because the set for Armor isn't good on its own, you need the Wand Core. So I did think overall it's good. I mean, I'm not against who's to say if the Seismic Wand and Core and Praisals eventually get a set effect. I mean, they can do that, but the only issue I have with that is I have trust issues with Jetix where I don't know if they can balance it. As in, I don't want to have a game where you use a tier 95 wand and core or book, then you have to swap to a tier 90. Like I don't really want that stuff. I mean, unless it's like very situational, as in like you have to do it. Like appraisals are really good at this boss for whatever reason. I don't mind that. I just don't like the whole swapping stuff. So skilling update, mining, smithing. So based off what I got, I mean, I kind of listened to the stream is for sure there's going to be a new pickaxe, a primal pickaxe that's going to be better than the pickaxe of Earth and Song, and there's also going to be a new masterwork item, which I'm assuming is going to be melee. I don't think smithing has anything to do with range or magic, so it's probably going to be melee. But they said it's going to be probably like, it's going to be something you want, but it's not going to be something like so broken. They said so. Again, it'll probably be a switch or a situational item. We'll see what it is. The other thing is, the ores from Daymaheim will be on the surface. They talk about primal ore, I guess primal ore makes all the bars, not so there isn't just like novite ore and whatnot. And I think they said that you can make tiers 1 to 80, maybe even 90 of the Daymaheim armors on the surface. I'm not sure about the primal weapons and stuff. I don't know. But it probably wouldn't be a tier 99 primal weapons and stuff. So yeah, we'll see about that. Again, it sounds nice, I guess. New area task, City of I honestly expected Hard and Elite task to be released earlier this year, along with an expansion of the City of However, that didn't happen. And they were asking, what type of tasks should there be? I'm not sure what there can be, honestly, because it's not like the area has that many high level things to do. I I would think that the new area task should come with, taking a boat, go somewhere, go to a different island, where there's like a mini town and like you do stuff there. I kind of hope they do that, but I know it can maybe invest resources. But I thought, the whole concept of rowing the boat, it's cool, but there's nowhere to go. So I would like it if you could row the boat, go to an island, and like it's a little small town or village, and just high level or new stuff to do there, and that's where the hard and elite tasks come into play. New necromancy ability, fourth conjure spirit. Yeah, I believe it's 107 necromancy they said on stream that you need to summon the fourth spirit. Or not necessarily this spirit, but have four spirits at once. So I mean, I'm just curious what it's gonna be. Like we already have healing and damage amp through the ghost. We have poison damage with the zombie, and I guess burst AOE, but no one does that. We also have the skeleton, which shreds armor with invoke bones, and does a ton of damage to a single target. So it's either gonna be like either something to do with tanking, like it reduces damage, it takes damage, and maybe it dies. Like maybe the active like their next hit, he does damage and it reduces the next hit's like you deal a 2k, the next hit will be reduced by 2k. Maybe it'll be a passive AOE damage. I don't know what's going to be. It has to not be obviously what we already the conjures offer though. New skilling boss. I will say again though, the Sanctum of Rebirth and new skilling boss are 1 to 4 players. The new skilling boss is based on the lore of the Sanctum of Rebirth. They're not sure what it's going to be though, but yeah, it's kind of funny. They're going to make this in like 4 months. Wow. So yeah, bosses are kind of fast to make as long as you have a plan. They did say that the hardest part about making a boss is like making the model and like the setting and stuff, but like that's kind of the job of another team. So I feel like they didn't have a team for so many years before. Like back in like 2010, I don't think they honestly knew what they were doing. um, I will say that they also talked about a contribution system similar to Croesus. And I'm not sure it had to do with the new skilling boss, which would make sense, obviously, or if they were talking about future PVM in general. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna be like, say, the boss has 100% loot, and one guy did, like you go for 4 people, 2 people had 30% contribution, the other two 20%, or if it's gonna be like Croesus where multiple people can get like the maximum drop, and it's about the group size ago. I don't know. Um, like maybe that's where, because the Sanctum of Rebirth is 1 to 4 players, but what if going solo? Yeah, you can do it solo, but maybe it takes longer, maybe it's harder. But you can go with 4 people, and as long as they're all contributing equally, they all get the same loot as solo, but it's faster and easier. I kind of like things like that. I don't mind solo as long as it's significantly harder and preferably not as good to do as group. Group needs to be more rewarding, so I hope they do that. Same with the skilling boss. Um, I don't know what to expect from the skilling boss. Some people want it to be more about crafting things than gathering, because I kind of, I don't know. I have a feeling it probably won't be about like mining and smithing or mining and woodcutting. Like feel like that should be left to Croesus. I feel like there should be a new gathering spots like archaeology, divination, uh, maybe some dungeoneering or something. I don't know. I feel like it should be something different, not just the same 4 skills they choose from Croesus. So I hope they do something there. Um, Overall, though, I think the concept of the how Croesus works with the contribution system is interesting. I actually don't mind that as long as it's smaller groups, like 2 to 4 players. Um, and as long as it's cut in half, because for instance, one thing I don't like is Carpet Duo mode is kind of a scam, where if someone has better DPS than another guy, the other guy's getting 2 drops every time, and the other guy's only getting 1. I don't like that. It's like, why not the guy with better DPS, he gets 60%, and the guy with less DPS, he gets 40% because he only does 40% DPS. I don't like it when it's just like, oh, sorry, you did 1% less DPS. Sorry, there goes 33% of your loot. I think heavy punishments like that should not exist in group content. So that's what I have to say about that. I hope they don't make the mistake with Croesus where they make the boss so easy and so non-dynamic with like removing the mushroom glowing switching every 30 seconds, or was that 1 minute? I think it was 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds, and make it so you can just spam Crystal Mask thing. They need to put more restrictions so you can actually feel a threat in the game, because Croesus is a really cool boss concept, but it was just ruined by the decisions and lack of decisions. With like, why didn't they just nerf Crystal Mask? So Crystal Mask only work. You can use Crystal Mask, once every as much as you want, but it only works to block a hit every like 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that. I don't think it should block a hit every 10 seconds. RuneFest 2024. This has been delayed. This is probably gonna be delayed because something with their partners that they use to organize got like defunct or something. Their CEOs had to buy their yachts or something, and it's like, oh, we can't pay you. Here's my $100 million though. So yeah, typical bullshit there. I'm sorry, but yeah, typical BS here. New story quest. By new story, I'm assuming there's going to be. It's just a whole new story, like a whole new plot line. It's not about. It's not about be. It's not going to be about fourth frenzy. It's probably going to be something about what happened in the Sanctum of Rebirth and the new skilling boss. Like something happened after. So pretty curious on what this is going to be. I'm assuming that's what this is. A whole new story. New Slayer monster. I don't really care about Slayer, but I mean, again, I only care about Slayer. I just don't like how AFK Slayer is. Slayer was really fun for me when Ripper Demons wyverns and such were actually seen as a threat. Nowadays, people AFK Ripper Demons. It's like, yeah. I kind of only liked, I liked Slayer back in the day, back in 2018, 2017. Now I don't know. Plus, Necromancy Slayer helm upgrade. That's pretty hilarious because, again, Necromancy doesn't really have issues with hitting, but, or even damage. So that's a big buff, but also I think it makes sense, so that's fine. New mode, Group Iron Man. A lot of people are pointing out that this mode is kind of redundant, and I've seen people discuss this on the RuneScape Reddit in the past like 2 weeks about Group Iron Man, and they were like, "Oh, what if Group Iron Man is on the roadmap?" And a lot of people are saying it's just kind of redundant. Like, in old school, you can't really do things with Art of the Iron Man. I don't think too much. Like, there's a lot of restrictions in place. Meanwhile, in RS3, like Iron Man can PVM with normal people. They can PVM with other Iron Man and such, but they can't Dungeoneer for some reason, which is kind of funny. So a lot of people are saying it's kind of redundant, and they're also saying Group Iron Man in old school is kind of dead, but as like it kind of just like dropped off. Uh, some people like JMods, they say that 33% of their play rates logs in occasionally and plays Group Iron Man. I'm not sure how true that is. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, it has potential. Some people even said people need to realize it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. I never played it, but I know what it is. It's essentially like you have 5 people and you all schedule like a day in a week to like do something, like 4-hour session. Just do something together. But again, like, how does that work in RuneScape? Like, there's not much you can do together besides like a high level PVM boss. And like, I guess someone can skill and someone can go to combat, but like, I don't know how it's gonna work. It's more like a role play type of thing. Like, I don't know. And some people like, even make alts and play with themselves, which is kind of strange as well. So yeah, if they wanted this to go well, they honestly need an in-game, like an in-game feature or a chat where Group Iron Man can like talk to each other or something about what they're doing. Because a Group Iron Man cannot relate to a mainscaper or even a regular Iron Man. So they definitely need like official channels or even a RuneScape Group Iron Man Reddit, right? But I don't like that. I think it'll die off it fast. But I feel like they need official channels to like talk to other Group Iron Man in game. Scaling update, woodcutting and fletching. They didn't really talk about this too much. Um, so I will go back though and say that the mining and smithing update is interesting because I wonder if mining experience is going to go up with the new ores, or if Stone is still going to be the best. But we are getting a better pickaxe, so I wonder how much experience rates will go up. But I mean, Stones are AP as heck. Woodcutting and fletching update. I wonder what it's going to be. As in, are they going to nerf the hell out of broad arrows? They might nerf the hell out of broad arrows. I have some. I need to finish fletching my other account to be honest. But yeah, it kind of worries me. I don't know if they would actually destroy broad arrows in terms of experience or something. But I don't know if we're getting a new hatchet either. What kind of XP rates are also like I think like 500k plus easily with golden bamboo as well. So we'll see what that does. It's mostly about progression with new players, which makes sense. Like to make a level 60 bow, I think you need like level 90 fletching, so it doesn't really make much sense. So overall, I think that's good. Um, New seasonal event Halloween. I think that's cool because the hubs I am a big fan of. Again, I really hope next year they go back on their 5 weeks of progress that they lost this year on the summer hub and work on the summer hub again and then release it because they're gonna have the Blooming Burrow done, Easter event, Halloween event, and Christmas event done, and just have to do a little add-on. I'm assuming they're gonna have a lot of time to work on the summer event, like a lot of free time. And they already worked 5 weeks on it, so they probably only need, I don't know, another 5 or 8 weeks to work on it. I would like that a lot. I hope they do that next year. And there's also gonna be a new seasonal quest with the Halloween event, so that's pretty exciting as well. This is essentially November or October, I don't know. Um, in winter, a new story quest and a seasonal event, Christmas Village, plus a new quick quest. Um, New quests with, yeah, this is gonna be a continuation of the Fort Fernley quest line. They said it's over, but like it's still gonna be about Fort Fernley. Like that's where our base of operations are. It's just probably gonna be about like a different area. Like we're not gonna be like, oh, our fort's under attack. We need to build more stuff. I think that's what they meant by it's the end of the fort, as in we're done with doing add-ons there. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. He's bro. He looks like he kind of looks like a boss. I wonder if we'll fight him in Moy because again, Mod Ramen did say he has a mind bending boss in mind, like to make. So You could probably be a boss with Moy or something at some point. So overall, I think this is a pretty good roadmap. Pretty exciting content. I'm also really excited. I will say, I also forgot to say, the new Rex Matriarch is exciting because there's a little quest before you do it, and the quest looks very cute because this little dinosaur is trapped, and you need to help him. So I thought that was very cute. Um, Besides that, I think the new boss dungeon and the skill boss also have a mini quest that before you can do them. So I also think that's cool. I think these little mini quests, like same thing with like Raksha, how does little mini quests. I think those things are cool. My mouse kind of dying right now. So yeah, just tell me what you think. I also voted on the RuneScape poll. So if you haven't rolled, not the RuneScape poll, the RuneScape survey, and I had fun doing the survey. They asked questions like, oh, top 5 favorite skills, least favorite skills. Why do you not like them? I love questions where people ask why. I answer all that stuff. I love dungeoneering. I love agility. I would love a 120 agility rework. Make it like the House Sepulture and old school RuneScape. I had 99 agility in old school. I loved it. So, yeah. Bye. Tell me your thoughts.